Calgary Flames are in a strange spot in terms of their rebuild, as it looks as though they can compete for a playoff spot through outworking their opponents, but that's not 100% sustainable, as was evident in last night's loss to the Ottawa Senators. Some insiders are speculating that the Flames could make a massive trade to help stay competitive, but NHL Insider Elliotte Friedman warns the Flames to be careful. So will we see a move or not? We're going to get into all that and more in this video, but first I want to welcome you to Flames Digest. I'm Mark Griffith. If you're new around here and you love the Flames, make sure you subscribe so you can stay up to date on all the latest news, updates, reports, and rumors revolving around your Calgary Flames. We would love to welcome you to the Flames Digest family. And while the Flames may make a move, you could be too, because this video is brought to you by Rentals.ca, who are proud supporters of Team Canada. While they've been supporting our national team defend their home court in international competition, they've also been helping thousands of Canadians find their home floor all across the country. Whether you're in Toronto, Vancouver, Montreal, Calgary, Halifax, Winnipeg, Mississauga, Edmonton, Victoria, or St. John's, from coast to coast, Rentals.ca have a ton of options to find the perfect place and price for you. Their website is clean and easy to use, and you can pinpoint exactly on the map where you want to move, finding all the options in your area. Find your home court with Rentals.ca. Check out their website in the description or the pinned comment down below. Major shout out to Rentals.ca for being big supporters of the channel, of Team Canada, and of you guys for finding the best rentals in your area. Now let's hop in and talk about Friedman's latest on the Flames. And it's interesting. It's interesting. We'll put it that way. A lot to unpack in this video. And of course, I always love to know your guys' thoughts down in the comments. So please let me know throughout the video if anything springs to mind. But let's get into this. So NHL trade rumors, latest rumblings around the Calgary Flames. And we already know, it's been reported in the past that the Flames are actually looking to add instead of subtract for once. They're looking for the key piece, not just looking for futures, and especially a young center with term has been what has been reported in the past. It was originally Frank Saravalli who went out and, dropped this bomb on everyone that the Flames were going to be the ones adding. But either way, let's get into this little article here from this website. So Elliotte Friedman dropped the F-bomb. I still wish I had that graphic. The OGs will remember that one. But Elliotte Friedman, speaking on the Fan Hockey Show, highlighted the Calgary Flames' interesting position as they play through an unexpectedly competitive start to the season. Man, I can't read today. My apologies. Initially projected to rebuild, the Flames have impressed with their work ethic and coaching, translating preseason promise into regular season success. So yes, the Flames find themselves way higher in the standings than anyone envisioned, and in a weird spot in terms of the rebuild, so-called. That's what they're still going through. Initially projected to rebuild, the Flames have impressed. That's exactly what I just read. So, however, Friedman cautioned that maintaining this momentum over an 82-game schedule will require strategic roster decisions. You can win games by outworking teams, but over the long haul, talent tends to take over, Friedman said, noting the importance of balancing immediate needs with long-term goals. And it is a tricky spot to be in, finding that balance between, okay, we can kind of go for it this year. We can compete for the playoffs, but how sustainable is, winning games by just outworking teams? Is that possible to continue that for 82 plus games? It's tough, and talent does need to take over. And as most people in the fan base will say, this roster is lacking that premium talent. So with nearly $19 million in cap space, 2 first-round picks over the next 2 drafts, and multiple second-rounders, the Flames are uniquely positioned to make big moves. And they can. We have these futures and the cap space available to make a big trade. But is that really what the Flames need to do? That's kind of what Friedman is hinting at here, that maybe you need to be a little bit cautious with what you do give up and not, overstep the rebuild and just jump straight past it. Because we've seen that happen in the past with these Flames teams, and then we're just stuck in the mushy middle year after year. Friedman emphasized that Calgary should steer clear of rental players, full on steer clear, not just, test the water, see the market, completely steer clear. Instead, targeting young, controllable talent that aligns with their rebuilding vision. If there's a young player out there that's got some term or team control, particularly a right shot center, I think they would absolutely consider it. So Friedman is pretty much, solidifying that this rumor is absolutely true. Saravalli, he's a good source in some ways, pretty reliable, but Friedman says it's almost certainly more reliable. Am I saying it's going to happen? No, of course not. But I'm sure that means that the Flames maybe are looking after a right shot center that is young. Friedman stressed the importance of striking the right balance between bolstering the roster and staying patient with their development strategy. Let's wrap up the article here. Adding a player with term could provide immediate support while strengthening the core for years to come. They're not going to be stupid, but if there's a young player out there with term, that's something I think they'd explore, he explained. So there you go, bang. Maybe that's what the Flames are looking for. And here it doesn't say, the right shot center. It's more if there's a young player out there with term. We all know that means a center, preferably a right shot center, but who knows? Maybe they'll go after one that shoots left as well. The Flames are sitting second in the Pacific Division, holding a 12-7-3 record across 22 games played. They sit fourth in the Western Conference standings behind the Jets, Knights, and Minnesota Wild. So the season is going quite well, and maybe they should add. So maybe we should take a look at just a couple options here of who they can go for. And it's funny, I bring up this first one here because this was what was reported as of this morning. So, DFO rundown. Frank Saravalli says he's heard Ottawa has been in conversation about making a Josh Norris trade, which, there you go, right away. A young center with a lot of term, and it's a very, very interesting that he's on the market because he's kind of part of that young core for Ottawa. Might be the odd man out when you think of who else they have. But it's very interesting because Ottawa was also reported recently that they wanted to acquire a defensive defenseman. And the Flames do have a lot of defensemen on the roster that they could give up to Ottawa, but do they have exactly what they want? I'm not too sure. If we take a quick look at Norris's contract, so he's in year 3 of 8 right now. So you'd get at least 5 more years. The big thing here is that the cap hit is quite expensive at almost $8 million a season. And I'm not going to go over his career stats or anything, but in case you're not familiar with Norris, he's very good. He's good in both ends of the ice, offensively and defensively. He's just so darn injury prone and just hasn't quite taken it to that next level yet. But this could be an option they could look at, especially if Ottawa is also exploring the trade market right now. And Steven Stamkos, Craig Conroy, they both played for the Flames. Maybe they both want to help the Flames. I'd love to see a Norris trade. That obviously is sensible for the Flames. I just don't know if we have the defensive defenseman that they would want. No way we're giving up Kevin Ball. I would never want that in a million years. The other option we'll look at is a very popular one within the fan base, within the comment section of Flames Digest, and just overall trade rumor rumblings. It is Dylan Cousins. He gets, kind of labeled as he's going to be traded everywhere. But this one makes even more sense because he's a right shot center that is young. He also has term. He's in year 2 of 7. So you're getting at least another 5 years. And he's been quite disappointing for the Buffalo Sabres. I know a lot of Sabres fans, if there are any Sabres fans, at least the Sabres fans online, are just done with this guy. They don't want him anymore. He's shown flashes, he's shown promise, but just hasn't quite been good enough. This one could definitely be a trade that the Flames do explore, and he probably won't be that expensive either. I think Norris would go for a little bit more than Cousins. I don't think you're giving up a whole lot for Cousins, so this one really could make sense. The only thing is, if they're really looking for that premium talent, the talent that is better than having to just outwork your opponents, is Cousins the guy you go for? I know it's so hard to trade for that kind of talent. You really need to get lucky and get a lottery pick, but still, interesting here. Let me know down below if there are other options available, and we can maybe look at it in a future video. I always appreciate that. Now let's wrap this up and look at the comment of the day, which comes from yesterday's video about Justin Kirkland and his potential Costco sponsorship. Maybe at least some sort of deal is going on, collaboration. But I like this comment here from Jonesy the First 69. Wow, who loves Fortnite still? Fortnite is the absolute best. Who doesn't love that there? So respect to Justin. He's a great member and addition to the Flames. I admire his hard work and dedication to the game and the Flames. So simply put, but so true. What a story he is. Nice to see that he's still working hard. And I was going to make a negative video today about the loss last night, saying, look, the Flames really didn't do too great. They took so many unnecessary penalties, but honestly, I didn't want another negative video out there, another, Flames have a growing concern sort of thing. Tried to make it a little more positive and interactive, and I love that comment there. Let's just talk about how great Kirkland is. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe like we saw here today, and have a wonderful rest of your day.